Hi, I'm Joyce.
And I'm Adrielle.
And we are Divinely Guided. Yes. And we hope you've had a great week, a great weekend, and that you are really getting into the wonderful holiday season, however you may celebrate it.
Yes.
Yes. So, what about you?
I feel like I'm getting there. It takes me a while.
Yeah, so that's what you said.
It really does. I've been listening to Christmas music, and I did my little Christmas makeup look today. I took the lips off, but I had like the red lip and the green eyeshadow.
Yeah, you had a beautiful red lip going.
Yes. And then I put up my Christmas tree in my room. So
yes,
I'm trying.
I noticed you had put up your tree. I left it outside your room.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna jump over her bounds. I'm not gonna put it up myself one day. I'm just gonna let her do it on her own time.
I did it.
You did.
I'm gonna put a tree in my office as well, like the little one.
Okay.
For my desk.
Okay. I have some small.
I don't want any.
You don't want any. You don't want any ornaments.
No, it's just gonna be just like that.
Okay, I'll leave that alone too then. But yeah, and it's definitely beginning to look a lot like Christmas around here.
Oh yeah.
So we have all 4 of the full size trees up now.
Yeah.
I think Jared was just so tired. He just of me moving slow on that last tree. He brought the box down. He's like, okay, are we gonna put this tree up or am I gonna put it up? I was like, you really got to be getting on Jared's nerves for him to say something, because generally he will just be quiet.
Yep.
And think it to himself.
Yep.
But anyway, I got it done. Although I do want to put a few more decorations on it.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
And I've done most of my, not most, I have done most of my Christmas shopping. And then I have to do a little bit more wrapping. Yes. But anyway, so we have been talking about or reacting to an article written by Dr.
We don't have the lights on. I don't know if that's a problem or not. But
oh, well, it does. You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference.
I'm tired.
So I will turn it on, since we are sisters of color and we don't want to disappear. We want everybody to see all of this rich black melanin, this rich dark melanin. Let's say that. Let's get the full picture. Oh, instant. And let there be light. Okay. And let there be light. Instantly. We look different already.
Anyway, so.
But as I was saying, when I was pulled out of the darkness, we have been reacting now for a number of weeks to an article written by Dr. Rachel Glick about building the bonds of mother-daughter relationships, making that a stronger bond. And as we've said repeatedly throughout this whole study, even though this article is talking about mothers and daughters specifically, so many of these concepts apply to any rich relationship.
Yeah.
And I think any relationship can be enriched by the things that we've talked about. So we've talked about leaving room for individuality in the midst of the relationship. We've talked about building common interests. We've talked about spending time together, but not too much time. We've talked about hearing each other out, even when you disagree. We've talked about allowing your relationship to transform, as any relationship will. It will grow and change, and we have to allow it to. Last week we talked about accepting each other and not judging. And not feeling like we've been a failure as a mom, or daughters realizing moms make mistakes, or daughters, being willing to accept. Mothers being willing to accept their daughters for who they are. So tonight, the next topic is kind of short, and we should be able to get through this one pretty quickly. Sweet. Of course, I say that and then we talk 30 minutes, but I don't think we'll do 30 minutes on here. But tonight is a good one. Again, talking mother-daughter relationships, but this is absolutely true for any good relationship. Appreciate each other openly. Appreciate each other openly. And I think that is very important. In this article, she talks about what mothers want to be appreciated for and what daughters want to be appreciated for. But I have to say again, in any relationship, people want to be appreciated. They don't want to be taken for granted. They don't want to feel like they're being just used for what they offer or what they have. People just want to be appreciated. So I think it is good in any relationship to openly appreciate people. We have no problem openly criticizing people, but we do need to be just as willing to openly appreciate people.
Yeah.
One of the things she starts out by saying is that moms want to be appreciated for all they have invested in the well-being of their beloved, beautiful daughters. So do you find that to be true, Adrienne?
Yeah.
Coming from the daughter's perspective on it?
Absolutely.
And I have to agree. As a mom, sometimes you can almost feel like a piece of the furniture because you feel like you're doing so much and taking care of everything and everybody. And, you just sometimes feel like you're the one who's being left out.
Yeah.
So it helps when the people in the household do stop to appreciate you.
Yeah.
For all you invested in their well-being, for all that you endured to bring them into the world. Because going through that whole pregnancy is an adventure unlike any other. That's just all I can say about it. Just the morning sickness. Well, for me, it was all day sickness. Couldn't stand the taste of anything. Couldn't stand the smell of anything or anybody. I mean, it's a challenge to my whole mind, body, and soul. But then on the other hand, daughters also want to be appreciated. True?
Yeah.
Why you said like that, like you weren't too sure?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be appreciated.
Right, absolutely. She said daughters want to be appreciated for the independent, powerful, and beautiful women they are. And I love that because I think those words describe you. Independent, beautiful, powerful. And I try to tell you that often.
Yeah. I guess the word that I would use isn't appreciated, but I guess like recognized as those things.
Yeah. But I guess you can say you like to be recognized as those.
Yeah.
But I think you have to recognize it before you can appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I think we should applaud people for who they are and for what they've done.
Yeah. You should.
I really do. I think that's where I think it goes beyond recognizing, because I could recognize a person as something without really
giving them props for it.
Right,
Yeah.
Or without even appreciating it. I can recognize as that who you are, and I might not appreciate that.
Yeah.
But to appreciate it says,
That's true.
I recognize it and I applaud you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is the thing. We've talked in going over this article before, we've talked about not taking things for granted. And so often I think that's what happens. I don't think it happens so much with us, because I feel like I tell you often, all the things that I appreciate about you or that I admire about you. Yeah. I feel like I do. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm full of myself, but I feel like I do. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. And then I love the fact that whenever I do something, you always say, thank you, Mommy.
Yeah.
Always. When I cook the food and I say dinner's done, you'll come down and the first thing you do before you eat anything is you say, thank you, Mommy. Always. And I noticed that. And I'm like, my baby, it's so sweet to say that. Because, not that I don't think Jared or your daddy appreciate it, but they don't say that.
Yeah. I think as I've gotten older, because when I was a kid, kids aren't going to notice all you're doing for them. They're kids. They're just in their own little thing. As I get older, I think it's more important for me to make sure that I'm giving you props. Because now I don't have that excuse. I'm not a child anymore. I can't just go, oh, she's going to do that for me. Like, I feel like as an adult, I ought to do these things. So if somebody else is doing it for me, I have to thank you for that. And I have to make sure that you feel appreciated for what you've done for me. I feel like you fail if you didn't do the things you're supposed to do as a mother. I would feel like I failed as a daughter if I didn't make sure you felt appreciated for those things.
Well, yeah.
So that's where I am with that.
Yeah. Well, you're very. It is a given. It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
When you come down and fix that plate, it's a thank you, mommy, coming. Yeah, without a doubt. And like when I do things, when you say I come swooping in, like when I brought shoes, or when you were sick one day recently and I brought medicine to your office.
I had a shoe break again.
Really?
It didn't break in the same ways. I was able to finish the day, but I was like, this is ridiculous. At this point, I need some more work shoes.
I was just about to say, you probably need more shoes. That may
They're
be a
so
sign that
old.
they've been sitting in that closet too long.
They have been sitting for a long time, and they're also, I've worn them for so long. Like those heels, I've had those since high school. Those black ones that broke.
The black sandals,
in high school.
Yeah, you did.
It's time.
Yeah, those were, they were gorgeous,
They
but
were.
they were very old.
It's time.
Yeah.
So,
And then which ones did
the
broke
silver
recently?
ones, I had some silver ones, they broke. I only got to wear them like twice because they were given to me. Whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
They were also old.
Okay, so Adrielle has a shoe issue.
Yeah.
So now the world knows.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you buy shoes all the time, but it's not like work shoes. You like all the boots.
I like boots a lot.
And
I would
those
say.
platforms.
But heels and stuff, I don't buy very many heels. Platforms, yes, but like heels, like work shoes.
Like work heels. Like
No.
Okay.
And I
yeah,
need
you
them.
don't have many of those.
I need them.
Okay.
I wear Birkenstocks to work all the time.
No, you can't wear Birkenstocks.
I wear them all the time.
You wear your Birkenstocks to work?
All the time.
Okay. See, that's just one of our differences.
Yeah,
because
you would never do that.
I wouldn't wear my Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks to work all the time.
Okay. And see, I wore the heels forever, and I wear a graduated heel even now, probably.
Yeah. See, I like heels, but I'm not that much of a heel girl. I like a platform.
Okay. But as I was saying before,
Anyway.
we went on a diatribe. We took that deep dive off. That when I brought your shoes to work, the first thing you do, you come out to the car. Thank you, mommy.
Yeah.
I mean, so I appreciate that you appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes, because I know there are so many people who don't appreciate at all what is done for them.
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate in rude to me.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She said, I know.
Just in my line of work, I know.
Oh, about people in rude. I know you do.
Yeah.
In your line of work. Yes. But anyway, so everybody wants to be appreciated. And then one other thing she adds to it that I really liked. When we feel and know we are appreciated, we are less likely to be triggered. We are less likely to trigger one another's insecurities.
Yeah.
And instead, we thrive under the light of being prized.
That's true.
I love the way she wrote that. We thrive under the light of being prized.
Yeah.
But when we feel and know we are appreciated, we're less likely to trigger one another's insecurities. And I think that's what happens in a lot of mother-daughter relationships.
Yeah.
We trigger each other's insecurities with our actions and reactions. And a lot of times they're not even aware of it happening. You can see it. It's easier to see it in somebody else's relationship, I think, than it is to see it within your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when people get triggered, a lot of times you get triggered and then you perceive things as slights or as attacks that were never intended
Absolutely.
to be that way.
I feel like that's how you know there's a little trauma somewhere because it will warp the way you think about something.
True.
In some way.
True. And trauma will do that.
Yeah.
It will warp the way you think about
the way you see the world.
Right, and the way you perceive things and the
deal
way
with
that you
people.
perceive people.
Yeah, that's why it's important to work on those things.
Right.
To help you move through the world easier and not take
That is
things
so true.
so personally.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And without going into the next topics, that is one of the things she talks about is getting help so you react to people better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been a big one for me personally.
Yeah. And I love, like I said, that last line where she said, instead we thrive under the light of being prized.
Yeah.
And I just love that, because when someone considers you to be of value, to be prized, they treat you that way.
Yeah.
And then you, like I said, we thrive when we feel that someone can appreciate who we are and what we're doing. We thrive. It makes me feel good every time I hear you say, thank you, Mommy. I feel good every time I hear you say, I think you've done a good job. You're not a perfect mom, but you're a good mom.
Yeah.
You've done a good job.
A great mom.
You're a great mom. I personally thrive under that. And I try to always give that to you. Is that positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
And tell you how talented and smart and creative. I mean,
You've always done that.
Yeah.
Never not. Like, I was a little kid and you'd have that written all over my room and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
With the little collages of me.
Right. I did. And I remember one day I was picking you all up from school, and I would always come out to school, and I wouldn't wait in my car. I wanted to be standing outside the door of your school when y'all got out so I could hug you and say, did you have a great day?
Yeah.
So I would do that. I would take my lunch break later in the day so I could come from Auburn to Opelika and be outside y'all's building when y'all got out of school.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be there to say, hug you, and you're a star and you're wonderful and all of these things. And one day I had a parent stop and say something to you all like, you all are so blessed, you and Jared. She's like, y'all are so fortunate you have parents who tell you how much they love you all the time. I mean, because it was always, give me a hug. Did you have a great day?
Yeah. Or
you're fantastic, or, and I had you the princess themed room because I always wanted you to know I considered you to be a little princess.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
One. Oh yeah,
you felt like one.
Yeah, and then you got me this like pink canopy. And it was a gorgeous little room. And then like you took it. Besides just wanting me to feel good, like just seeing you go in there and hand paint all that furniture, like the work that went into all of it, furniture. And then it was designed. Like I remember the bedside table had like designs on it that you had painted in there.
Yes,
it was just cool. And then you did that again when I was in high school.
Right, because we changed colors. Scheme.
Yeah, we changed color scheme because my room was dark and I was going through some stuff, and I was like, you were like, you should recolor your room to stuff that makes you happy. And so I gave you a color scheme. I came home from school one day and the whole room was just different. It was just bright and it was orange and pink and had flowers everywhere.
It was.
And I was like,
I was trying to get it done in a day.
And she did.
But I've always wanted you all to feel prized and feel loved and feel special.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to always tell you, you're so special.
Yeah. And I have.
Yeah. So, and I think that is how we thrive when we know that we're loved and appreciated.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, it got where it wasn't cool to tell people how much you love them and appreciate them. I don't know where that came from.
What's up with that? I will want to add one more thing. I think I don't have kids, but I'm just saying, I think one thing mothers need to remember when it comes to pouring that kind of stuff into your daughter or your kid or whatever, they might not appreciate it then or realize it then, like everything you're doing. It might not even really sink in yet because they're just children. But I promise when they get older, that stuff that you put in there it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like everything that I learned growing up from you and some things I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like it's all coming back as I've turned into an adult.
Right.
That's really important.
Yeah, it is. And I think it goes back to what we were talking about, earlier, kind of comes in, this whole conversation comes into that. We were talking about, I had one of my nieces, another niece graduated, finished her 4-year degree yesterday. And so we all got together as a family and supported her and cheered her on and just enjoyed the fact that she had finished her degree at AUM. And I was telling Adrielle, I said, your granny would be so proud. Now, every daughter all of her girls have a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
You know, the me and all 3 of my sisters got a 4-year degree. And now the next generation of Thomas women, everyone in turn has received their degree, and we have 1 more to go in y'all's generation. But it's like
Squish.
Squish, and she's gonna get hers. She'll be finished by this time next year. She will have finished. She'll have hers before, but by this point next year she'll have hers.
So, yeah.
But I was just, again, it was that was poured into us, the importance of education and being your best, and it was poured into you. And so by the time you go through high school, it's just an automatic. College is next, and doesn't matter how many roadblocks I run into or how many times I have disappointments. I had a lot of disappointments in college in myself mainly, but I learned and grew through it. But it was like, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep pressing until I get that degree. And it's all, like you said, things that are poured into you when you're small, they don't go away.
No, they don't.
They just stay in there.
I'm having some technical difficulties up here. You just ignore me.
You're having technical difficulties?
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, I see all your stuff is just spinning in place.
It's a lot going on.
But I see comments still rolling, so
Yeah,
it's
on
not
here,
like completely dead.
This was not working out.
Oh, okay. Your iPad has gone to sleep.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, well, you can figure it out. We're just about done. But anyway, we will go ahead and leave that alone because we've discussed all she said. But it is important, and you remember this. Your noodles too.
Yeah.
You got to get your noodles.
My noodles.
But remember, appreciate. You can go ahead and get your noodles.
I feel like they're boiling over.
You can just tell everybody, say, we'll see you in a minute, or you're going to run and get the noodles and come back. But just remember to appreciate, regardless of what relationship, even if it's not your mother-daughter relationship, whatever your relationship is, appreciate openly the people that are important to you in your life. Tell them that you appreciate them. Tell them thank you. Don't take for granted that they just know it. There's nothing wrong. I know we've gotten to be a crueler society, but that's why it's even more important to be gracious and appreciative. And let the people that you love know that you love them. Did you get it?
Yes.
Yes. So, but that's all that we have for you tonight.
Ooh, that was adventurous.
You were having all kinds of issues going on.
Then I heard the noodles. It was this. I'm cooking right now. Yeah. All right.
But anyway, all right. So you all continue to find time to take care of yourself because without a doubt, you deserve it, right?
You do.
You absolutely do. I took her line that time.
Yeah.
I sometimes I just go off and I just lose it. This is my heartbeat right here. Love you, precious.
Love you too.
Good night.
Good night.